Hi, Booze. I don't know about y'all, but life has been difficult for me lately. It's been hard to sleep, to concentrate, to allow myself to live in the moment when I hear and see the injustices that people are going through at the moment. My heart has been heavy with a lot of burdens that have not been my own, but that doesn't make me any less compassionate. In fact, it makes me more furious that there are people that are just like me, like my best friend, my partner, my mom, his mom, that are facing hardships that are unknown to me. It's difficult to understand what these people are going through because I am not them, but it doesn't make me want to fight back any less. I didn't and still don't know where to start, but I live in a free country still. I live in a place where my voice cannot be suppressed just because someone else doesn't like my opinions. I'm peaceful. I am not imposing harm on anyone. I'm just speaking my mind. It is not illegal for me to say what I want, to wear what I want, to do with my time with whatever I please to do. I did not sign up and I was not born into a country where I was going to be policed by my every move, to be fed into a machine as though I were just numbers and a cog in a machine. I am a living, breathing human with her own thoughts that wants to just spread kindness to others. I don't believe in one side or the other. There is no such thing in my eyes. Politics do not matter. These parties, this bipartisanship, was just a boundary that was created so long ago to have a right and a wrong because humans like conflict. They like drama. People like to be entertained. What matters is us, the people, not the parties. What is happening right now in my country is abhorrent. There are several members of this nation that are not being investigated for disgusting behavior with a disgusting man, as well as being held accountable for atrocious horrors that are being committed in the streets of our cities. The several supposed protectors of this country are harming the citizens that they claim they are protecting. They have not been held up to a constitutional standard, and they have beaten, intimidated, and bullied people in the streets who are American citizens. Currently, there is no left and right. All I see are humans being taken advantage of, trampled over for the privileges of those who are wealthy or ultra wealthy and powerful that would rather sacrifice us billions of people who own less in a lifetime than they spend in a month. What I see are people who are turning away from these atrocities because it is overwhelming. It's hard to joke about. And we do our best to show up at work, to show up for our loved ones, to show up for our family, to show up for ourselves. But how are we expected to continue with the charade when they are taking the very freedoms away that were given to us when we first became a country? And how many of those freedoms are they going to take away until I'm next? There are people who are continuing their lives, which is well and good, and no judgment. But what if when it's too late? Until normalcy is redefined into something different. We have been too complacent and continue as though there are no issues, with others putting their hands on our neighbors, masked men knocking on our door taking census of who is in the house, what color they are, what social status, and what papers they have. If I feel so powerless, how are these people who are being invaded, who are being shot, who are being bullied in the streets feeling? How full of fear and helplessness would I feel if I were in a situation where I were surrounded by multiple people with the ability to kill me with one single steel projectile? And how much fear and helplessness would you feel if you were in that situation? How many more children need to be locked up, families separated, friends disappearing in the night before something changes? How many more documents do we need released, and how many more redactions do we have to go through in order for the predators' names to finally be revealed and actually taken accountability before the names of these predators and accomplices of this disgusting, abhorrent, semi-human being of a psychopath are revealed and held accountable for all of the traumas that they've brought upon innocent women, men, families. I'm not sorry for the serious tone that I have to take. I'm not sorry for the lack of jokes that I'm making. I can't even begin to imagine the pain that so many of these other humans have gone through, how dehumanizing these events might be, and how resilient some of these people are to have to face the truth of the horrors that they had once faced so long ago. Well, I can think, what can I do to help? Not only is it crucial to have the facts right for my personal education, but for others as well. If there are people that are willingly going to start a conversation with me about the current events, I'll be ready to educate those who may not have the information at hand or the incorrect information. Also, contacting your state representatives to push them into further investigation into not only the files, but also the people in the streets who are running rampant with their guns and feeling a semblance of power that maybe they might not have felt throughout their whole life. How can we change everything that is going on? Well, we stop funding the parties, the lobbies, the companies that are donating to these political parties. It shouldn't be happening in the first place anyway. It was never supposed to be a race for how much people can make during a campaign. That's why the right and the left don't really exist. It's just corporations or wealthy people, billionaires, who have power in our government. It's not Texas's fault that the state government steals away the populist vote. If we had the choice, the vote would have gone blue, maybe even independent in a lot of counties. Yeah, sure. Chick-fil-A has some good chicken. Yeah, okay. Amazon can get you a package to your door in about a day or two. But what you saved on your deals and what chicken you put in your mouth is exactly how you are voting against your best interest. Notice how the taxes haven't gone down. Notice how the people still have to pay for healthcare and their hospital bills at the same time. How groceries have only inflated dramatically in price. How it has become so much more difficult to buy a house in your 20s and 30s. How much friction there is in the current economy to find a stable and secure career in the current society that wants to replace us with the new wave of technology. I don't align with left, right, Democratic, Republican. The values that they stand for are non-existent. Democrats allow the corporations to get ahead and monopolize our economy, while the Republicans push the wealthy and the ultra-wealthy to take advantage of a failing economy to get a good deal when the economy finally is on the come up. I want people to get what they pay for. I want my taxes to get invested back into society and back into American citizens. I want everyone to have a job because there's always something for someone to do. The community will always need people who clean, who code, who serve, who fix, who innovate, and not one of these people are any less for the job that they have to do to attain money, to feed mouths in their homes. I am not just my political viewpoint. I am not even in the bipartisanship that rule over us. I am my own person with the resiliency and will to survive. I have morals, and when I see the injustices that are happening, I'm not going to stay silent about it. I'm going to speak out with my whole chest, which is why I am making this video. I've been losing sleep over these children that are being taken from their schools, these parents that are missing them, the teachers, the nurses, the contributing members to our society, the taxpayers, the citizens of our nation that are getting attacked and detained for no reason, really, other than free labor at the detention centers for a phone call. They are in prison for being in a protest. They are in prison for being a child in a school and being a different skin color than the other kids in that school. Make it make sense. I may not be able to leave much of a mark on this world because I'm not the most powerful, I'm not the most wealthy, I am not the most beautiful, I am not the bravest, I am not the strongest or the fastest, but I know that I have loved and cared as much as I can and should. I have given as much compassion as I could with each person that I pass every day. I have smiled as much as I could, and I have fought against multiple hardships and disparities for myself and for others as best as I could. So what can you say for yourself? Have you spoken up to the injustices? Have you made choices that benefit not just you, but everyone around you? Because if your neighbor is doing good, then so will you. If you still defend those who took advantage of the underage, of the people who were down on their luck, if you find humor in a child being impregnated or being thrown into a concentration camp, if you defend the warehouses where labor is being exploited for just a phone call, the warehouses they call ICE detention centers, who hold the workers that collect our crops that we eat every day, the teachers that educate our children, the nurses who worked tirelessly throughout the night. Just an average American citizen who once was your neighbor is denied their constitutional right to due process, healthy working conditions, and humane treatment. Then I suggest you start stepping outside of your echo chamber. Maybe put down your phone. Go to your city center. See what people out here are actually fighting for. And instead of hiding behind your phone, your keyboard, your monitor, be skeptical. Ask questions. Be curious what people are talking about, what people are riled up about, why people are angry. There is a reason. There's a reason for the outrage, for the protests. It's not about right or left, blue or red. It's about right and wrong. And I know for a fact that murder, pedophilia, sex trafficking, human trafficking are all very wrong. Sorry for being so serious this video, but this has just been on my mind, and I don't feel like enough content creators are speaking up about it. I'm a very small content creator. Obviously, I don't have many subscribers, but this is something that is affecting me and the way that I show up in my daily life. And I know that it's not just me. I know that it's not just me that is affected by all of this news. I'm trying to take a step back from scrolling and from listening to all of the news, but good news is coming. As of today, Congress has been asking for the unredacted files in order to prosecute and hold accountable the people who were accomplices in the files. So please stay strong, stay safe, and be compassionate. Thank you guys. I love you. I'll see you later.